Sometimes you reach a point in life where you just need a break. You may feel the need to disappear from social media, change your phone number, or maybe even move to a new place entirely. Because every now and then it's essential to step away from the noise, to tune out the opinions and judgments that knowingly or unknowingly shape your life and drown out your own voice. Taking time for yourself is a powerful step forward towards self-discovery. About creating space to listen, to heal, and to learn who you truly are outside of anyone else's influence. You may begin to rediscover what truly brings you joy and peace. Find hobbies you didn't know you love, like reading, boxing, Pilates, cycle classes, just taking long walks, breathing in fresh air, and letting your mind wander. Maybe you start to cook more, turning your kitchen into a place of creativity and nourishment. Maybe you dive into homemaking, creating a space that feels like a sanctuary, a solitude where you feel grounded and safe. And sometimes you realize you need support and you turn to therapy. You learn to unpack the baggage you've been carrying and you start to understand yourself on a deep level. For many, this journey also means reconnecting with God. In the quiet, without distractions, you might find yourself praying more, reflecting more, journaling more, and experiencing a closeness to God that grounds you in ways you never imagined. This time away isn't about running away from life. It's about coming back to yourself. It's about recentering, finding your peace and your joy, listening to your heart and soul. When you return, you'll come back a stronger, more authentic version of yourself, ready to live a life that's truly who you are. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to take a step back. Beauties, it's your girl Syndie. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. I know this video, it's been a while. It's been a minute, it's been a long time. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you, some of the reasons why I decided to take this break, what have I done during this break. I don't know if I shared too much what I've done during this break, but you guys will see it more in upcoming videos. And we're also going to slay and do this beautiful look here. It's very much fall. Burgundy is in. I mean, burgundy should always be in because it's a beautiful fall color. So we're going to do some hair, some makeup. We're going to chat. I'm going to answer some questions. I'm also going to get a little emotional and share some things. So if you guys want to see more, definitely stay tuned for this video. All right, I hope you guys can hear me okay. We're going to start off with makeup first. I think I'm mostly just going to show makeup and then maybe parts of my hair. I did just reinstall this unit. This is from Hair Vivi. Let me know if you guys are okay with the audio setup. I just got a new microphone and I'm testing it out. So this will be my first time using it for YouTube. I'm going to just try to get the hair out of the way because I don't want the hair getting caught up in the microphone situation. And so let's put this hair up here and hope that it doesn't get in the way. I think for my makeup today, I've been feeling doing burgundy. So maybe we'll do burgundy. I don't know. Or maybe what I'll do, actually, yeah, let's do some burgundy. And then I think for my lips, we might keep it pretty neutral and simple. I think that's the vibe I'm going for. I do have my candle in the background. I have that crackle effect candle, so I hope it's not picking up because I feel like it's very loud. I feel like I'm literally, like I have, what's it called? Wood burning in the background. I have some questions. I'm going to try to answer them throughout the video while I share with you guys, what's been going on, why I took some time off. I feel so kind of like weird and rusty at this, so bear with me, guys. And then I do have a new setup, so I'm trying lots of new things here. New setup, new microphone, just trying to bring back the quality in my videos like I used to. But we're going to start off with priming today. I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is my favorite primer that I use. I love to use this because I have oily combination skin and I feel like this just grips my foundation and keeps it in place. So we're going to start off by putting like 2 pumps of that. I do want my makeup to last for most of the day because today is Saturday and I am a little bit behind schedule. Today is my content day because I am officially back. Yay! I'm trying to get back to a schedule that used to work for me, and that's to try to get majority of my content recorded Saturday morning / afternoon, just because one, I'm a morning person, so when I wake up, I love to just kind of like get to work. If I'm doing it later in the day, sometimes it's hard to. So that's number one. Number two, and like the lighting in here at this time of day is just so beautiful. And if I wait until later after work, I'm no longer gonna have that beautiful lighting because now that we are in the winter solstice, is that what it's called? All right, so I'm gonna go in with my brows first. I'm gonna try to do it on camera, but I always struggle doing my brows on camera. I don't know what it is. And especially right now, I do need to get them threaded. I was gonna do that this morning, but I decided I will do that tomorrow. I do have some plans to go to Houston and do like a staycation because I truly miss my friends and my community that I've made in Houston, and I have yet to make that here in Austin. So it's good to just go back and, be with friends. Same with going back up north to Boston. That'll be nice as well. While we do the brows, I'm using the NYX brow pencil. I usually use the color black. I ran out of black and all I have is espresso. So we're going to use espresso today and make it work. I don't know. I just feel like it's too red for some reason for my brows. And I always feel like it looks weird. But I do want to go back and get my microblading touched up because one, I'm not as happy with this shape as I had. This shape is not my favorite. It's too thick. I have a hard time doing it. Like if my brows are not threaded, I have a hard time doing my makeup. And I didn't have that before with my other shape. I think we're going to do a shape like this and then I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I know you guys are probably wondering like what happened? Why did I leave? Why did I take all this time off? I think I really reached a point where I was just dealing with a lot of like loss, a lot of transition, and it really just affected me. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna get emotional. This is the other thing during this time too. Like I'm not someone who expresses my emotions in form of crying or outwardly, and I think just with everything that's happened, I'm so much more in tune with my emotions. And I'm happy about that because I'm able to express myself more. I'm no longer holding on to it. So I feel like with everything that happened, and I think the number one thing that I just didn't realize was like losing my mom at such an early age affected me so much. And I didn't realize how much it affected me. I think I'm good at masking. I'm good at disassociating from it and moving on like nothing happened. And I think during this time, it just made me realize how much losing my mother really affected me a lot. And it's one of those things that it's so hard because no one can ever, no one can ever replace that figure. No one can ever replace that void. It's, I feel like it's the hardest thing ever. And it's been weighing on me all these years in my life. And I honestly didn't realize that until it got triggered. And mentally, I just was not at a place where I could show up like on camera. I mean, I showed up to my 9 to 5 because that's easy. Like I can be in my bubble at work, do my work behind the computer, and if I have to be at a meeting, fine, I'll be at a meeting or show up. But because I'm not constantly online when I'm doing my 9 to 5, it was so much easier for me to just kind of like block that off right now while I deal with everything else. I think I needed quiet. I needed a peace. I needed to just was it drawn out? I don't know. I just needed to close off everything else, just really sit with my emotions, really sit with my feelings, be in therapy with my therapist, who I've loved my new therapist. Like I think it's really making a huge difference. And also spending time with God and just spending time with myself. I think I'm realizing that nothing will ever replace that void from my mother, but I have to just learn how to fill that within myself. And I think the thing that's crazy is like, yeah, I'm in my 30s, right? This should have been something that I should have worked through a long time ago, but I no longer look at it as like shame. I no longer look at it like that because everybody's different. Everybody goes through different things, and that wasn't my time. Like this is my time to deal with it. Like, and so I don't know. It was that. And then also I just like experienced so much loss. Like it was so hard. It was like I just felt completely alone. And yeah, it was honestly a lot emotionally. It was a lot on me. And I stepped away and I took care of myself. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad I don't want to say I'm glad I went through that because it's hard and I really don't wish that on anybody. But I think I needed to go through that to see, you know, the issues, to see what was going on. I needed that to essentially break these old parts of me that aren't doing anything, that aren't moving me forward. Like I needed to release those things. So um I did not intend for this video to be this emotionally intense, but yeah, let's just I guess that's really it. So I'm gonna do my brows off camera because this is just not I don't know how the girlies who do get ready with me do their brows on camera. I can't do it. So I'm gonna do my brows and we'll come back and then um hopefully just move on to a lighter topic because I don't want to cry throughout doing my makeup. Okay, I'm back. So what I did was I used the Lancome concealer. This is in the shade 435. So I just used that to clean up my brow. All right, so for foundation today, I have two foundations that I've been really liking. The first one is the All Hours foundation by YSL. I love this foundation so much. It's become one of my new favorites. But I think I'm gonna go with my other favorite. This is the Forever Matte or Forever by Dior. So we're gonna go with this one today. This is my favorite foundation, I think it's probably my number one, and the YSL is number two. So we're gonna use this foundation today. I'm in the shade 4.5N. Sometimes I will wear 4.5W, which is warm. I find that in the wintertime, neutral is the tone that works best for me, but then in the summertime I'll do more warm with more tans and stuff. So while I do my makeup, I'm going to try to answer some questions that I had months ago that I meant to record for you guys. So I'm going to try to answer them in group all the questions in a similar way, hopefully making that a little bit easier. Where did I move? I think you guys by now I moved to Austin, which honestly was not my original plan. My original plan was to move to Dallas. Was it last year or early this year? I don't know. Oh, last year. So in 2023, my original goal was I was going to leave Houston and go to Dallas. And I think one of the reasons why I ended up choosing Austin was Austin has a lot more outdoor activities. Austin also is, you know, becoming a hub for tech, and I do work in tech. We'll talk more about work in a little bit. I had a lot of questions about that too. And so that was like the two main reasons why I chose Austin over Dallas. Um, we'll talk about how those things are going in a second, but so that's pretty much why I moved here. I left Houston because I like Houston and I love the diversity in Houston. I love the different types of foods, and I enjoy being in a city that has more people that look like me. But a few of my issues with Houston is I feel like it's such a party city. Like a lot of the things to do is like brunch and day parties and um, smoke hookah and all of that stuff. And I've just outgrown that. Like I've outgrown that for a while because I feel like, you know, when I was younger, I got the opportunity to go out and be in the club party scene, and it's just no longer my vibe anymore. And I feel like that was majority of the things to do, and I didn't want to do that all the time. I didn't want that to be the only thing. I wanted more activities to do, more things to do. I just wanted a little bit more diversity and vibe. And I feel like the other reason is the humidity in Houston. It's almost unbearable. Like it's so humid. I feel like you literally step outside and you need to just go back inside and like take a shower and don't even bother going outside. That's how humid and hot it is. And I just don't want to, I didn't want to like have to be in that all the time, like, and then the weather as well too. So hurricane season, flooding, all of that was a factor. And like, okay, I think I want to be somewhere else. I was also thinking about staying in the tech field and seeing how promising it is to have more tech job opportunities here in Austin. So that's another reason why. How much of a financial difference it is to live in Austin versus Houston. I don't know like the exact numbers, but I will say this. Houston is definitely more affordable than Austin for sure. Austin, I noticed it immediately in just like normal day-to-day things like grocery shopping, getting my nails done. I noticed the difference here in Austin. So I would say Houston's more affordable in that regard. Going in with the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. I recently picked this up again because this used to be a favorite of mine. So I decided to give it a try again. I'm in the shade Caramel, and I'm just using this to kind of like set my under eyes. And then I'm gonna add some eyeshadow. The thing with eyeshadow with me is I have very small eyes and I have very small lid space. And so eyeshadow sometimes is a hit or miss. And I don't know what's been going on. This eyelid has been like puffy for the last 2 weeks. I don't know. So I'm thinking I'm gonna schedule an eye appointment to figure out what's going on. What's my biggest takeaway from Houston? I think my biggest takeaway from Houston is that it's realizing that I can go somewhere new and I can make it. I can figure it out. I can make new friends. I can make a new community. Like there's nothing I can't do. Like that was the biggest move for me, was to move from Massachusetts to Texas. If I can do that, then I can do anything. So that's my biggest takeaway from that. While we're on the topic of moving, how is Austin going for me? Personally, I'm starting to think like, and so this is another thing, like usually this is really hard for me to admit, is when I make a mistake, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. It's something that I'm working through. But I'm starting to think I might have made a mistake moving here. I don't think this was a good move. And to admit that I want to throw up a little bit because I can't believe I'm admitting that. But I do think it wasn't the best move for me, because sure, I didn't know anyone when I moved to Houston, but like I at least had like some connections with people online. So it was like, okay, worst case scenario, I can link up with my social media friends that I made. And I think now I don't know anyone. I think I know 2 or 3 women who are in Austin, so I could, link up with them. But I don't want to go down that route again. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm starting to think like in that regard, it maybe I made a mistake, because finding a community here in Austin is very hard. I think for a person of color, because the diversity is not there. And it's crazy to me because I've been in Boston, and like, yeah, it's not all as diverse, but dang, this is even worse. Like at least in Boston, you can, like if you want to see people who look like you know where they are. Here, it's like they're nowhere to be found. And I know people say like they're in other places like Round Rock and Pflugerville. That's cool, but like if I want to be downtown somewhere, because I love city views. I love the city vibe. Like if I want to be in the city there, I want to see more of that there, So I think in that regard, I'm starting to think, okay, maybe this was not a good idea to not have a community at all. So that's something that I'm really struggling with, and don't be surprised if I move somewhere else. I think what I realize is that is just part of life. You try things, you make decisions, and they don't work out. So either you pivot, you try something new, or you just continue to let it dwell. And I think this is just something that I've learned, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna need to pivot, because this is not what I thought it was going to be. And that's just okay. That's just part of life. You learn things. It's a learning experience. And so I think I'm starting to look at things as no longer being a failure, or no longer like that, or a mistake, because it's a learning experience. And one thing that I noticed in this time period is not judging people for the decisions that they make, because you really don't know a person's background that caused them to make the decisions that they made. You don't know what they went through, and you don't know their state of mind. You don't know their belief system. You don't know any of that. To judge people and be like, oh, I could never do that, or I could, you really don't know, because you're not in their shoes. And so that's why I'm like, c'est la vie. Literally, c'est la vie. So I'm using the YSL Clutch, Mini Clutch Couture. This is 200, and you guys can tell how much I love this, because literally this shade right here is at the bottom. That's how much I love using this. So I'm using the lighter one all over the lid area, and then I'm gonna try to add some more definition to get like a smoky maroon / burgundy look. Would I ever move back to Boston? I would have to like visit again and be like, do I really want to be here in the cold, in the winter? And I just feel like the cost of living is so crazy. I'm gonna go in with the next color, this one right here, and then we'll go in with a deeper one. Would you ever live in another country? And the answer to that is yes. I would definitely live in another country. I would live in Europe. I think that would be fun. I really enjoyed Europe when I visited. Am I working in the same job? And the answer to that is yes. I'm working in the same job, same company. I didn't switch or anything. I just moved locations. And so I do really enjoy that about my job, the flexibility that we can work anywhere as long as we're in the US. I am a business analyst. Do you need a degree for this job? I think it depends on the employer. A lot of like the people I work with, not all of them have like a degree in math or like some type of technical degree. A lot of them honestly have experience. They kind of grew into this role. So I have a degree in math. Maybe you don't have a degree in math, maybe, or a business degree, but maybe you have years of experience. And I know that's kind of like, wow, that's tricky. How do you get into a role when you don't have the experience? And I think this is where you probably have to start taking certificates or courses that will help you land that position, right? So it's good to have a lot of like technical skills. So like Power BI, Tableau, those like visual technical skills. And then also just like coding skills like SQL, Python. Those are really good skills to have. And there are a lot of free resources out there. One of the resources is not free, but I really enjoy it because I've been taking courses on there to help update my resume and just be a better overall analyst, and that's Data Camp. Data Camp has a lot of courses. You have a data science, data analyst courses, and that'll teach you how to use tools like SQL and Power BI and Tableau. And the good thing about Data Camp is that if you don't have like Tableau, for instance, in the course itself, it has a Tableau interface and an actual like Tableau desktop that you can play with. Or same thing with SQL. It has like an actual like coding SQL software, so you can learn it. So you don't have to really spend any other additional money trying to get those softwares downloaded. I think I had a question about like resume, like how, like what was on my resume, what did I use, and like been in my role for so long that I don't think right now my resume would stand out because I had just graduated. I didn't have much experience. I think it was just more of like company that I worked for was looking for someone who was very entry level for the position. And as I, started working there, I started growing more. So I think in that case, it's kind of hard for me to like give advice on resume. But what I will say is like I've been interview process. And so I think some of the things that stand out is seeing a lot of examples. There's been some candidates. It's been really nice to see their portfolios, to see things that they've done themselves. Like one of them actually used Data Camp and created their own project. And I thought that was cool. That shows like what they can do. Maybe definitely work on your portfolio along with your resume so that you have something you can show the employers to set yourself apart. Eyeshadow is not my thing, but I really be trying because why do I look crazy? And then I had a question related to content as well, is how do I schedule my time with content and work? And honestly, I'm still figuring that out because I took all that break. And so now that I'm back, I'm still trying to figure it out. But what I used to do before and what I think I'm going to start trying to do again is to create content Saturday mornings like I am right now and edit throughout the week. And then maybe one other day, use that to create as well. Maybe like that's on a Tuesday or Wednesday after work and create. So I'm working on my schedule right now, honestly, trying to figure out what's going to work. It's been so long since I've been consistently posting. I'm reapplying concealer. This is the Lancome one again, but this is in a different shade. It's 410. I'm just reapplying to clean up, and then this is brighter. I'm using it to brighten up my area. So I'm gonna do that. I'm using the Fenty Beauty. This is Truffle. I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring as well. I'm gonna put some blush. This is a liquid blush from YSL. A little bit of that too. And then I'm just gonna blend everything. Okay, so I did try to like blend that in a little bit. I'm gonna go in with the Air Blush Flawless setting powder. I like this so much. There's literally like none left. I just bought another one from the Sephora sale. So girl, I forgot to put in my translucent setting powder. Putting in some translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Honey. I was using the Ultra Blur, but I stopped using that because, I don't know, I felt like my concealer kept creasing. So I decided to go back to the original one to see if that would help, because I felt like it just kept creasing a lot. That's another reason why I switched concealers as well, and I went back to the, what's it called? The NARS one, because I was like, okay, is it the concealer that I'm using or is it the powder? So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't tried this enough yet to see if it's really going to make a difference. So we shall see if it makes a difference. So just going to set my powder, my creamy products. So the concealer, the blush, the contour. The one thing about the translucent powder, I feel like it's so much lighter than the Ultra Blur. I feel like the Ultra Blur, I feel like it blends into my skin a little bit more. This one, I feel like it's looking like a ghost. Okay, now I'll go in with the setting powder on top. I think I'm gonna open the other one because there's not much in this one left. Okay, I'm gonna go back in a little bit, but my newest bronzer that I've been using is the one from YSL. I thought when I first got this, I was like, this is not gonna be my shade. It's gonna be too light. And I'm glad I kept it because wow, this is actually a really good, really good bronzer. I really like it a lot. I think it does a good job of adding some warmth back into my skin from all the different products that I've been using. So I've been loving using this so much. Okay, so let's move on. And then for powder, for blush, I'm going to use Dulce Vita by NARS. So for the next couple questions, let's see. So I had a couple questions related to faith. It says, I love that you're showing more content, RE, Bible, spiritual growth. I love to see more. And so my thing is like, because I'm still very new in I'm new in the sense that I strayed away for a while and now I'm back working on my walk with God. And I still feel like I'm a baby in Christ. And I'm not ready to share that because I think it's very personal. Your relationship is very personal with God. And I feel like sometimes when you're sharing stuff, people will put their judgments like, oh, as a Christian, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Or like, you're not doing this right. You're not doing it. Like, I just don't want to be clouded with other people's judgments as I'm walking on my faith with God. Because I've noticed like that you have to be very careful of who you listen to because not everyone is coming from a genuine place. And so I don't want to be strayed away from listening to someone who is not preaching or saying the right message because I've seen that too. I don't want like judgments to then discourage me. I'm not saying that it will because, well, you just never know. I just don't want that. I don't want other people, because I think that has happened to me in the past is like other judgments have kind of turned me off about it. Or other judgments or things that kind of turn me off, and I don't want that to happen. Going in with a little bit of highlighter, this is the Lady Gaga House Labs. I got a highlighter. I'm waiting for it to come in. So there's that. But I mean, I'll try to share things here and there as I feel comfortable. Like one of the things that's been really helping me in my routine is using the Glorify app. I love using that in the morning to do my devotionals. I think it's been really helpful. And I've been using the Tony Evans Commentary Bible as I read to get a better understanding when I'm not understanding things. So that's been helpful as well. So as I like find things that help here and there, I don't mind sharing. But I'm just not there yet. You know, I pray that someday I can be there, but I'm not there yet to fully be preaching or sharing like that. Also, what is her name? Megan Ashley is also a really good one. I like listening to her and her podcast in totality. So that's a good podcast to listen to if you're on your walk as well. So just some recommendations that I have. Okay, so I'm going to I think I want to add some lashes. I've been adding in falsies every now and then just for more, what's the word? more voluminous, more sultry look. But before I do, I'm gonna prep my eyes. This is the Lancome Crease Booster XL, so it's like a primer. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of that. I have such tiny baby lashes, so I need to prep them and prime them and try my best to bring them to life because my lashes are cute little baby ones. They be hiding away. And then I also think like with my eye shape, it's just there, you know, hiding away. So we're gonna apply some more there. All right, so next I'm gonna apply, I apply two mascaras. I apply the Lancome mascara and the YSL. The Lancome, I like the wand because it just really lifts all of my lashes, and then the YSL just really gives it some more volume and definition. So while I do that, I want to ask you guys in the comment section and let me know if you've been a either long time or new subscriber, what content do you enjoy most from me? So I have some ideas. I started a live the other day. I was calling it Sauteing with Syndie. It was like cooking with me, and I figured, you know, the next time I do it, I'm gonna find a recipe, I'll share it in advance, and then maybe we can all cook together. I think that'll be fun. It'll be a Sauteing with Syndie episode live. I'm just trying to get my camera situation worked out so that we can maintain the quality as I do it. So that'll be an idea. Let me know what you guys think. I also want to get back to creating more cinematic vlogs and cinematic content. I love doing that as well. You guys know I genuinely really love editing. So let me know in the comment section what you guys like to see, and we will continue the vibes going. I am almost done. I did just put lashes off camera. So I took the hair down. I tried to straighten it. It's kind of hard to see, and we need to do our lips. So I'm thinking for lips, I'm gonna go with my favorite combination because I was gonna do a burgundy lip, but I feel like it would just be too much, especially with the eyes. I feel like the eyes are very dramatic, so I'm gonna tone it down with a nude lippy. So I'm going to use the Lip Injection by Too Faced. And then we are going to add the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I'm going to apply that. So while I do that, I hope you guys don't mind. I did record some footage during this time that I was away, and I am thinking of probably just putting that before we start with some fresh new content. I hope you guys don't mind. Getting my apartment together during this time, I've been really focused on making this place a home. And so I have lots of content of me going to different places to get decor, trying things out. I'll be sharing that with you guys. This whole like talking while you're doing your lip thing, I didn't really think that went through. So it's gonna be a little choppy here and there because I don't think that was a bright idea for me to talk while I'm doing my lip. This I really like because it has that plumping effect. Make sure lips pop, and then this is like a beautiful nude that I like using. So this unit is from Hair Vivi. I featured this already in another Get Ready With Me that I'll link for you guys in the description bar along with the link to this hair. You guys can use my code Syndie30 or Syndie, I believe, to get $30 off your order. I'll leave it in the description box if you're looking for that. I'm excited to try to break out of this perfectionist bubble that I am in and try to break out of this like trying to portray this image because I'm not perfect. I'm not, and that's okay. Like everybody's a work in progress. We're always going to be going through different things and different journeys. Sometimes it takes us back a couple steps, unfortunately, but sometimes we needed to because maybe we were going the wrong direction or maybe we weren't ready for that direction yet. And so we had to take a couple steps back. I'm excited to really see what that looks like. I'm excited to kind of go through that journey. And one thing that I learned before we end this video is that, am I in focus? Okay, we are in focus. I don't know what was going on with my camera. Sorry about that. So I lost my train of thought. I feel like we were on to something. I completely lost my train of thought. But oh, before we finish the makeup, I'm gonna spray some of that One Size setting spray on there. Whew, I got it in my nose. I know the face is looking very matte. The thing with my skin is like, give me 30 minutes and it's gonna look like nice and skin-like. I just have very oily skin. I actually just got a facial yesterday to kind of combat some of that extra oiliness. We did a dermaplaning, we did microdermabrasion because I have a lot of texture and my skin gets congested a lot. So we did that. And she did a enzyme treatment and a blue light therapy treatment as well. So hopefully that helps my skin But I was just saying that I've gotten through. I think I'm excited to just kind of work through my imperfections, my not being, accepting who I am, because I think a lot of times, like, I guess I'm unhappy about the version of myself that I am, and I'm realizing that this is just part of the journey. I think I had a devotional one day, and it really brought things into perspective. And let me unlock my phone because I want to see if I can find it. And I know I have a question. This is similar to what we're talking about right now. But I think the devotional was talking about how when you're watching a TV series, right? And there's like all these different plots and twists and turns in the series. And then you get to the end, you're like, oh my gosh, like, wow, that was amazing. That was beautiful. Like, it makes sense. But in those moments as you're watching, those are like so challenging, or the character's really going through it. And the analogy was like, when we're watching a show, we would feel like the show is spoiled to us if we started the series and then we went to the happy ending or the ending where everything was perfect and we missed all those things in between. We would feel like, okay, that show wasn't that great, right? So why should we feel like that? Why do we rush God and ask him to not even let us go through these things, and we just want the happy ending? Or if we're going through those trials and tribulations, why don't we also see them as like, oh wow, this is just a moment or a season that I'm in. This is going to make me overcome or even better to get to the next stage. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but it really was like an aha moment for me, because like a lot of the things that I was going through, I was internalizing it, and I was also just like so negative about it. And I was like, I just feel like this is like the worst thing ever. Like, I just don't want to deal with this. And it's like, yeah, but that's just one part of my story. That's just one part of my life. And there's another side to it. There's a reason why I'm going through this. Like, it's only molding me and shaping me to become a better person. And there's a Bible verse about that, and I don't have my Bible in front of me, but I believe it was James. It was either James, and it talks about, no, it was Romans. It was Romans. I'm going to get my Bible because I want to quote it. Okay, because I was going through the book of Romans, and this really stood out to me. It was Romans, and I took a note. Okay, yeah, it was Romans chapter 5, verse 3-5, and it talks about how we must also glory in our suffering, because suffering brings perseverance, which brings character and hope. And it just reminded me how what we go through it's only there to help build our character, to help build our mindset, to make us much better, stronger people. Long story short, I am really working on embracing every single trial, tribulation, every single thing that I'm going through, and being present in that moment and not trying to escape it, and kind of like look internally, like, what is this teaching me? And I think by just kind of shifting my mindset, it's made me happier. It's made me not hold on so deeply into it. Like, it's okay for me to like feel those emotions, but I think I was just too heavily negative, too heavily down, too heavily playing this victim role. And no, I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm just really excited to share more. I'm really excited to come back and start, I guess, being more authentically myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the kind messages, emails, DMs. And if you guys are a friend or family or watching this and you don't have my number yet, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for not sharing that contact and wanting that peace and quiet. By the time you see this, you probably have my number anyways, so we're probably all good anyways. But I'm just saying, I can't wait to just start sharing more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys stay tuned for what's to come on the channel. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, join the beautiful family, join this community that we're building here. And if you like the vibes, why aren't you subscribed already? All right, I'll see you beauties in my next video. Bye.